culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Happy Tuesday. And whoo, do we have some hot, messy ass topics for you guys tonight? This is obviously very different because you're not used to me kind of being this unfiltered, but this is exactly what this is for. We're picking back up on lives at night just to go over all of the topics for the day. I know normally you don't see me in a pride shirt or something that's glittery like this. I can't even talk. But this is our Tom Tom Pride shirt from Vanderpump Rules. Vanderpump Rules is premiering season 9 tonight, so I just got in the spirit. Now with that, I'm not going to talk anymore. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. Don't forget to get subscribed because this is a subscriber live chat only. I'm done with the monologue. Normally that's Kempire's thing, so can't just drag him by myself. Hey, Kempire.
Really? They're starting already? Is that what we're doing?
That's the way we get in the spirit. This is happy hour, hot mess, happy hour.
Oh, so where's your drink? What's in that?
Water. Hey, Jason.
Guess what's in mine?
Oh.
Jason's classy and bougie. I'm not. Yeah,
I'm so classy. I filled up an entire wine glass of red wine, like to the brim.
Wow. Hey, listen. I'm looking at the chat right now. Oh, no. Okay, so Vanderpump should revamp. Yes, they dropped 8 cast members. We're going to talk a little bit about that at the end because we don't know exactly what's going on yet besides the trailer. So we need to see the first episode tonight. Guys, Kempire, Jason, welcome. I want to bring the same energy to this because this has been one hell of a day, but I'm excited to talk about these topics. We have a lot going on. First, I'm going to start off with Erika. Is that okay with you guys? Okay, so the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, it's shot. Obviously, we know that, and it's coming out. It's October 5th or October 6th. Kempire?
October 6th, I think it is.
I believe it is October 6th. And since the reunion, well, before going into it, we knew Lisa Rinna had Erika's back. Kyle Richards had Erika's back. Dorit had her back. Crystal had her back. The only people who she really wasn't driving with was, well, it was mainly Sutton, not Garcelle. But now we know none of them are following Erika anymore. It says only Garcelle, Rinna, and Kathy, and thank you, it's about the memes, are still following Erika after the reunion, but I just checked right before coming on here, and no one follows Erika anymore. What do you think means? Kempire, I'll start with you.
Wait, no one?
No one.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is crazy. I feel like I'm like kind of downplaying this, but it really is a big deal because it's kind of telling.
Oh, now Kyle also unfollowed Dorit, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
shit went down at this reunion.
No, they want us to get hyped for the reunion. They always do this right before.
Oh, do you think that's what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so gullible.
Me too.
Same. But for what they're probably trying to say is like maybe Erika is like kind of on the done and the out, and then we're gonna get this reunion where everything's fine and hunky dory, as Kathy Hilton says.
A 4-part reunion.
Yeah. Well. Oh gosh, if Jordan's in here, don't get Jordan started. But you know what's interesting about this is Erika's still following all of her castmates except for Sutton, but none of them are following her. So I'm wondering if she's just pretending like she doesn't care. Is this a publicity stunt? Actually, guys, I'm going to ask you in the live chat: are you calling this a publicity stunt, or do you think the reunion really did end these friendships? Kempire's going publicity stunt.
I think so. I mean, I kind of hope it ended these friendships, but we already know they're going to start filming very soon again for the new season
at the end of October. Jason, publicity stunt?
I didn't think so, and I was so excited until we just said that, and then my brain kind of switched to like, oh yeah, that's probably right.
Kempire completely tore it down. I wasn't even thinking about that, but that's so smart. Actually, the way you're looking at it, you're like, oh no, this is hype, and we always get some hype shit when it comes to the franchises. And even to be fair, everyone speculated that Andy Cohen teasing that he left nothing on the table or left everything on the table. I don't really know how that saying goes, but whatever he said, everyone was like, is this a tease for the reunion?
Okay, did we need 3 parts for Salt Lake City?
Oh my God, I forgot it was 3 parts.
Do you remember? Did we need that? Because we had a great conversation last night with Jordan, one of the callers, and he's like, we could do this all in one. It's just they just want to keep dragging this on.
I think Beverly Hills needs at least two.
Yeah.
But 4, look, we already knew, all of us know the reports that Bravo, NBC Universal are highly invested in this because Beverly Hills is the only city that's really driving the ratings right now. Even Potomac, they're getting decent ratings, but they're not getting the same ratings that consistently, at least, that Beverly Hills is. So they really want people to watch this. This is part of the reason why they have an Andy Cohen going on Jimmy Fallon promoting this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I do agree with Jordan too, and I feel like for a 4-part reunion, I didn't realize until somebody reminded me. Real Housewives of Atlanta, they were the first to do the 4-part reunion, and I can't remember that reunion for the life of me. But was it worth the 4 parts? Like, did we need it? Because I feel like it's really hard to justify a 4-part reunion.
I have to rewatch that. I do remember it, but I'm just like, was it worth it? I would have to rewatch it because I hate to say no, it wasn't, because I don't think we ever really need a 4-part reunion. But it has had some classic moments, so I have to kind of go back and watch that. Okay, fair. Well, we talk about Erika Girardi enough around here, so no more of that. Tested, she filmed, but she didn't make it all the way to the end. However, this year is a little bit different. I believe I have another photo of her I wanted to bring up really quick. She's super pretty, and she is throwing a charity event. So we're going to see that next episode. This is her. She's throwing a charity event. Her friend Stephanie runs a charity called In Circle, and it's for counseling LGBTQIA children. Her and her husband have a transgender child, and at this event, they're going to gamble for charity. Well, she's telling Lisa Barlow about this, asking Lisa Barlow to attend, come, gamble, and have a good time. But do you mind Whitney Rose is going to show up? Lisa's like, no, it's good. I don't mind if she shows up. And then Angie lets her know, well, actually, we're related. Lisa Barlow's like, what the? You're related? What are you talking about related?
Everyone in Utah is related. I feel like I have like 25 cousins, per aunt and uncle that live in Utah. So maybe we're all related, all us Mormons.
Yeah, you had 150 Mormons at your reunion.
And that was a small reunion. Like that's what's crazy.
Ooh, wow. Well, I'm not excited about this. What's her name?
Angie
Harrington.
Angie.
Why?
Because if she tested the first season, they were like, eh. And now they're trying her out again this season as a friend of. I'm not that excited for her.
Okay, well, that's fair. I mean, she is doing confessionals, and in the caption, if you guys can't see it, she said, I guess I can share this now. I sincerely appreciate every single one of you supportive people. Thanks to the cast of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, blah, 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 confessionals she's a friend of. We'll see.
Wait, she's thanking people before we even met her?
Yeah, she's bold. She's bold. She also loves fast food. She was 16 when Lisa Barlow was 23, and that's all we know.
What is it with these women in fast food?
And she's a fashion influencer.
Lisa and Angie.
They actually had a whole conversation. I don't know if you guys saw the Bravo exclusives, but they had a whole conversation, Lisa Barlow and Angie, about how they both love going to Chick-fil-A every day, but they really want to switch it up, and maybe they're going to start going to KFC.
I love how they go to Chick-fil-A. However, anyways.
And also,
I know where you're going with that, and yes, 100%.
And also, Chick-fil-A is not open on Sunday, so you can't technically go every day.
Adam always with the things we never think about.
Yes. Yes. All right,
just in
guys.
case anyone wanted to know.
I'm curious if you guys are excited about Angie. Again, we don't know much about her. We know that her and her husband, they share a transgender child, so they're passionate about doing LGBTQ charities. If you look on her social media, you can see that she does a lot of charities, and she is a fashion influencer. She's Lisa Barlow's friend, Whitney's cousin. That's really what we got here. So I just wanted to bring that in because that came out today, because obviously she posted it. Now, I think we can move on.
Yeah, I don't think I'm excited either way. I could take it or leave it because I'm okay with the ladies we have and how it's going for right now. But I mean, I guess, with Jen Shaw potentially missing in the future, we need a few other revamps to kind of bring it back up.
Yeah.
Jen Shaw replacement.
Yeah, there's going to need like 5 people to replace her.
All right, guys, I dropped the link if you guys want to call in. I literally just typed call in, so you're not listening to my keyboard. But if you guys want to call in and chime in on Erika or Angie Harrington, you're more than welcome to do that. I want to jump into Lisa Rinna. What could this woman be up to now? Where is she? There you are, Relentless Rinna. Oh, she, Kempire, let's go around the room and say something nice.
She looks better than Robin did in that outfit and that hair at Watch What Happens Live. There's my nice
one, Jason. Can I steal that?
Yes.
No. You can't steal that.
You know what? I can say something nice about Lisa Rinna. Although she doesn't have a storyline, she likes to use everyone else around her as a storyline. She is still worthy of coming back next season, unlike Dorit. Dorit, you can go.
Okay. Well, Lisa Rinna, if that's what you're, I mean, I have nothing I can add on to that because you both had enough nice stuff. I think I really like her garage closet. Okay. I like her garage closet. But
who has the better closet really quick? Lisa Rinna or Mary Cosby?
Mary Cosby.
Yeah, Mary Cosby.
It's like a circus, like Ringling Brothers, like threw up everywhere.
Yeah.
She's definitely for a closet.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, we're hearing that her daughter Amelia Gray is giving her an ultimatum to stop talking about her on the show. Now, is it real? Well, it came from a source that told Star Magazine. They said she gave her mom an ultimatum to stay mum on the subject on TV. It horrified Amelia that she talked about Scott and her relationship, and this is a very painful time for her due to her breakup, and she feels like her mother is only making it worse. She's pretty much saying that I feel like my mom is a clout chaser, but again, this is a source that told Star Magazine, so really, how credible are you? Lisa always wants to be the center of things, explains the source, and she said she'll only talk about it if somebody else brings it up, but Amelia knows her mom. She'll find a way to work in to the conversation and then grab more screen time because of her and her relationships. Are we buying it or no?
I think so. I mean, I think honestly, if Lisa was my mother, I'd go everywhere to tell her to shut up. I'd go to Star, I'd go to Page Six, I'd go to People Magazine, I'd go to Us Weekly, because maybe that was the cause. Maybe that was the cause of, like, you know, did she meet Scott? I forgot. Yeah, she met Scott, right?
Yeah, she
Lisa?
met. I believe she did say, yeah, she said on Watch What Happens Live she met Scott, but Amelia broke up with Scott because Scott was sliding into Yunez's DMs. That was a totally different case. I mean, but Lisa Rinna, honestly, if that was my mom, she would be embarrassing me too if she's just using my relationship as a storyline.
Yeah, and that's kind of a weak storyline to use. To use your daughter, her relevancy dating, a Kardashian, like, secondhand thing as a storyline is kind of like ridiculous anyway. You know.
You can call him Lord Disick.
Okay.
I don't believe any of it. I do believe one part of it, though, that Rinna definitely used this whole situation as a storyline for herself. I wonder if this is going to be her storyline for next season, conflict between her and her daughter, Amelia.
This could be another stupid publicity stunt.
Mm-hmm.
You're hitting it for me tonight, Kempire. Seriously, now my mind just went and raced around. I'm like, they're all brilliant.
At the end of next month, they have to start thinking their storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they do. And the best ones, even Portia Williams, we all know, like, the best ones always plan out their storylines. That way they can be very on point. They know where they're going to go with it, and they're ready for the season. It's like doing your homework before a test. They're ready.
Like,
okay.
Just went shopping for men's engagement rings. It's timely. She has her show coming out in a couple of months too.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta learn this PR game. Apparently, a lot of people are really good at it. All right, guys. With that, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, and I am going to bring up Jordan and also Philly Diva. If the mics start crossing over, then we'll just go with one at a time, and then after we will go back to our topics. Let's start with Philly Diva. She was in first. Hi, Philly Diva.
Hey, fellas.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm hiding from Maddie because she said, am I going live? And I'm like,
hiding from your daughter who wants to be a YouTube star.
Well, we're going to make this quick because I'm pretty sure she's about to run up here.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so did you guys hear this? Sutton? Matter of fact, I saw this on your video earlier. That Sutton hired the security for the reunion.
Yes.
So what I'm thinking is the reason everybody unfollowed her is partly due to, that'll be the storyline for the upcoming next season, same way Kyle did to Garcelle. Oh, you unfollowed me, so I unfollowed you back, and I'm so melodramatic because I really don't have a storyline, and I'm not going to talk about Mauricio. And
do you think this will bleed into next season, the Sutton Erika drama?
Absolutely. What's today's date? When do they start filming? What else has happened?
Literally a month. Yeah, you're right. It's going to be Amelia, her relationship with Lisa Rinna after her breakup. Sutton and Erika, it's going to be relentless. Kyle and Dorit. What the hell could have happened with Kyle and Dorit for them to not be following each other? Unless, again, like Kempire said, publicity stunt.
Publicity or Kyle just pulling her BS again. goes here, she goes there, where she's needed, where she thinks she's needed, and what she thinks is going to help her and make her look better. That's all it is.
She knows how to play the game.
And that's really it's really just that Kyle doesn't have a storyline. Kyle has officially, put the crown on. There's no need for me to have a storyline. I'm really just going to kind of jump into everybody else's storyline.
But I don't think Lisa Rinna or Dorit, I don't think they have storylines.
Nobody had a storyline. Erika carried this season on her, on her bankruptcy back. Like, let's
okay.
I think she stole that from Tom too. I think Tom carried the season.
Oh, Tom did carry the season. Tom and his accidents rolling down the hill. Tom and his Tom carried the season. Cut Tom a check, Bravo. Like, you pay these.
No more checks for Tom.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, like, Erika absolutely carried the season on her back. Like, there is no doubt about it. So she has to come back.
I have to argue with the Philly Diva, though. I have to say this. Yes, it was Erika's story. However, if none of the housewives didn't say anything to her, it would have just sort of breezed through this season, and the season would have been boring like the last few seasons have been.
Right. If Sutton hadn't said anything, because it wasn't even everyone.
Yeah,
Sutton brought up the conversation, and Garcelle with her quick wit. Oh, you're right.
Well, so, I wish after LVP just did that Daily Mail interview and saying, of course, we talked about this last night, but when she said that Kyle was the one who told Camille and spread the rumor that the Girardis were having legal woes back in 2019. I wish LVP would come back for next season, even though I know she won't. But she even just called Erika spinning obnoxious. She said that they never liked each other. This would be the perfect person. And she wouldn't back down from Erika.
I would love for LVP to come back just to add a genuine level of opulence. Like, add Kathy's opulence to LVP opulence, because they're still friends. And, that's rich. Like, that's what Rinna said. That's luxury. That's what I really want. Like, I want to smell diamonds off your breath. Real. Like,
you know what I would love, and this isn't it,
LVP,
like dreamland. I want LVP to come back, but I don't want to know. I want her in one episode to just come in, and then the next tagline, 3 seasons in, she's there. And we just have her. And it's, where the hell did she come from? Sniper from the side.
3 episodes in?
Yeah, 3 episodes in. Sorry, yeah.
Murray, thank you so much for the super chat. Don't forget to smash that like button. All right, Philly Diva, we know your daughter's coming up any minute, so we're going to let you go down for a second. And then if you are still around when we go through the rest of the topics, I will bring you back up.
Awesome sauce.
All right. And then I can't forget you, Jordan. So we're going to bring up Jordan, have Jordan comment on this, and then we will move on to our next topics. Jordan's in the car. Hey, Jordan.
Hi.
Hey, that's my
Hi, guys.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm well. Listen, where do you want me to start?
Okay, so you can go in on the Erika drama with nobody following her anymore. Do you think it's a publicity stunt, or do you think that this is real? Is Kempire right? Which would actually be kind of devastating, because I was really excited about it. It's almost like you just told me Santa Claus isn't real. But go ahead, Jordan. Go ahead.
I could go either way on this. I could really go either way on this. This could either be the Fox Force 5 banding together to be like, look, we're going to make sure that you come back. We're going to make sure that we're going to come back storyline strong. We're going to derive away from all of your bankruptcy troubles, your marriage issues, your hospital bills, and everything else that you got going on. We're going to focus on the intergroup drama. It could be that, or Erika showed up and showed her ass, like I said that she should on Kempire's live maybe a couple weeks ago, when I was like, she needs to show up either blatantly just apologetic and ready to just explain everything she is legally obligated to explain, spill her heart, and I need Sutton to show up with Monique's binder to tell her every single thing that she was worried about, how it came to fruition.
Okay, but the thing is too, I was worried that a lot of the questions, that would go her way from the fans or Andy or from whoever, that she would be able to say, I legally can't talk about this. But Andy Cohen said she answered 98% of the questions. We don't know if that's true, though, because they'll edit it to make it look like she says maybe once or twice. I can't speak on that. And then if there's a bunch of other questions, he'll probably just edit them out.
Now, I wonder if when he says he asked all the questions, did he ask all the questions about things that we already saw her speak about on film? And so she's just going to elaborate on things she can already talk about since we've already seen it. So it's not like she's sharing anything new. Or is he going to ask her all the questions of, why don't none of this make sense, girl? Like, explain some things, because we don't understand how, like, all of us, like, at the beginning of the season, Tom was going back into the law firm, and then by the finale, he was going into senior citizen home. Like, how did that happen? who what doctors? Oh God.
You're
Oh
still
God.
there. No,
Oh God.
you're still
Hello.
there.
Hello.
Jordan.
Hello.
Jordan.
You.
Hello.
We see you. We
Hi.
hear you.
Sorry, I'm back. Hello. Hi. Hello.
We're,
Everybody.
Can you hear us?
Jordan,
Alright.
it's me, Adam.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna drop Jordan down, and then I'm going to Jordan. I'm dropping the link now. Just go ahead and click on it again, and we will move on to the next topic until Jordan gets back. Wow, that was very. There was a lot of animated conversation right there. Okay, I'm in the spirit. All right, so let's go on to the next topic. I want to talk about Captain Sandy. I don't know if you guys know, but Captain Sandy, where are you, Captain Sandy? We love you. Look at her and her pretty wife. Okay, Captain Sandy Jan shares her future plans. She is actually taking a 22-city tour. She's starting on Friday in January 28th, 2022. What am I talking about? And it kicks off in the West Coast, and it'll make its way across the country. I don't know where my head is right now, but there's a lot going on, guys. There's a lot of hot topics is what I mean. But Captain Sandy is going on a 22-city tour. Now, she said while she will eventually return to yachting, right now she doesn't have any future plans to come back to Below Deck as of yet. She also applauded Below Deck and said, you know, I wish that it was around when I was a child. If it was around at the time, then maybe I wouldn't have done some of the silly things that I did. And remember, she had an addiction problem too. She wouldn't have gone down that path because she would have been inspired by the yachting world. But now she wants to go around, she wants to do public speaking, and she wants to focus on her hobby, which is being a DJ.
That's what she's going on tour with?
Well, oh, wait.
I think she's doing like a TED Talk kind of thing, right? That's what she's touring with.
Yes.
Which, I mean, I think, you know, why tour it? Just do a TED Talk and like put it on YouTube. But
because she's making more money.
I used to love Captain Sandy is the one who got me into Below Deck, to be honest. But by now, I'm kind of glad that we'll hopefully see some turnover in Below Deck Med.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of ready. I liked Captain Sandy's dynamic with Hannah, but this season, I love Captain Sandy on the show, and I also love Captain Lee. Even Captain Glenn, even though I feel like he doesn't run his boat like the right way, because Captain Glenn just acts like he's a part of the crew.
Right?
You know what I mean? He's like, hey guys, is it okay if I come in the kitchen right now? You guys okay? Whereas like Captain Sandy walks in and she's like, bitch, get out of my way. Like she's very like.
I know, but she picks and chooses. I mean, her form of leadership has definitely changed in my eyes over the seasons. I mean, with Captain Glenn, he's like, hey guys, can I lift up the anchor now? Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a very different dynamic. But I really think what really kind of when she was digging her grave with Hannah, I think, you know, and then stuff has come up after that she could have gotten even more upset about, and she hasn't. So yeah, I could do a new captain in Med. I could also do a new Malia.
Wait, Jason, did you go on and just post under me? How do I pin links?
What are you talking about?
Did you just write in the chat? How do I pin links?
No, I'm afraid not.
Are you hacked? What's happening?
No, that's block user. That's cute. Whoever that is.
I see.
Lots of up and Adams in the chat, huh?
Oh, this is going to be a fun night, guys. Fun night. Okay, so she's the worst manager ever. Is Captain Sandy another cousin of Whitney Rose? Ha ha! Shame. Micromanager, very biased. Love Captain Sandy, but Captain Lee is my fave.
I do have to say, when you're managing a boat, a yacht, you know, it is a stressful situation and you have to make decisions like that, you know? So I do applaud Captain Sandy for making decisions. Sometimes they do come off very biased, like someone just said. I would have to agree with that.
But also I have to say too, I don't think it is a bad thing, like Captain Sandy kind of wanting a break from having her on the show and her focusing on this. But I feel like it's kind of like you had your time. It was a good run, and it would be nice to see some fresh faces. Like the same thing that I felt with Cynthia exiting Real Housewives of Atlanta. I was like, you got married on the show, then you got married again after you ended the show. Like we saw so much growth and watched you evolve and watched your daughter grow up. I thought it was a great time for her to, you know what I mean? Like at some point when you choose to exit and you're on a high, it's good. As opposed to just like everybody deciding, oh, time for her to go. Captain Sandy.
She has other business ventures coming up too. And, you know, with this, what is it? 618 Maritime or something, the new restaurant in Jacksonville, which is going to open in November. She does have kind of with her chef, she has a niche for food and she really likes food. And that is something, a driving force in the yachting industry. But I'm curious to see what she is going to do and what she is going to get up to.
Okay.
But I could use a new captain.
Kempire, shall she stay or shall she go?
I think.
Look at this photo. Sorry.
I think it's always good, especially with these shows. You know, how long has Below Deck been on and Below Deck Med been on? It's been a while. So
oh yeah.
Kind of shift, especially
guys in the chat. Go ahead and answer. How long has Below Deck Med been on? How many seasons? Oh, they'll get us.
7, 6.
Yeah, I think it's around there. So I don't. I mean, she's been great for the show, but give her a season off, and I'm sure
like Dorinda.
Oh, poor Dorinda. They better give Dorinda her apple for next season.
Yeah,
I think she's going to bring it in the All Stars though.
Oh
yeah.
I cannot
it's really going to
wait.
be this one who's messing up All Stars, but that's okay. We're going to talk about her too. We're going to talk about her too.
Do we have to?
Okay, so just going around the room really quick, would you buy tickets if Captain Sandy was coming to your city and she was speaking to everybody, just being a motivational speaker, DJing her best and her heart out and bonding with her wife because they both bond over music? Would you go and see Captain Sandy? I honestly
Kempire would be the first. Kempire has already pre-ordered his tickets.
Yeah, Kempire, you look like you want to go see Captain Sandy. Look at your face. You look so happy.
She's doing a preview of it next week in Europe. You'll be there, so you can go check it out.
I'm taking my time going to see that. No shade to Captain Sandy, but no, thank you.
No thanks.
The chat is saying no.
Nope.
Well, I don't know how big these theaters or these places are. That she's going to, but I for me it's not like, this is a really bad example, but it's not like when Stassi had her podcast and it was so big and she toured it like that. That's right. Like something, because it was like you're doing a platform like. Well, now I think you and Kempire doing a tour of a YouTube Lives would get more tickets than Captain Sandy going to.
You stole that from Kempire. Did you go through my phone?
Announcing our tour.
Yeah, I was about to. Did you go through my phone or did I talk to you about
No, you told me about this. How much wine have you had?
Okay. First of all, we're not there yet, but we could be. Let's go on to the next topic. I'm going to go ahead and move it forward, and then I want to bring up something else. But when I get the topic going, then I will bring it up. That way I have time to let everybody else converse before I bring it up. That way it looks like I'm not delaying the whole conversation to begin with. Okay, so let's move on. I know, whiplash, that's me. Imagine being Jason, or imagine living in this head. It's a lot going on. Okay, so before we bring back up our callers, we have Jordan, Bernice, Firefade, Jesse, Natalie, Benzie. We're going to bring up everyone, but I just want to go back to someone that we talked about yesterday, our Real Housewives of New York former star. It really was her show by the end of it. Her name is Bethenny Frankel, and she is under fire. Mind you, she does not give a shit that she's under fire. She's made that noted. This is Bethenny Frankel. Okay, if we don't know her, well, I don't know where you've been at, especially if you're watching this and all I talk about is Bravo. But Bethenny Frankel is the skinny girl empiress, and she went on her podcast, Just Be with Bethenny, and she said she talked about some stuff. Kempire? I try bringing it over to you. She went on her podcast and she talked about the fact that she was talking about her daughter's experiences. this is actually more serious. So she was talking about her daughter's experiences going to school. And she said her daughter came home and said, listen, at school, we all have to stand up when we say our name and we have to say our pronoun. And then she came home and asked her mom, you know, what does that mean? What is my pronoun? And her mom was like, well, you know, you're a girl. And she's like, I never felt like I had to say that before. I never thought that was like a conversation. But she said her daughter, Bryn, was so accepting of it and she was so proud of her, right? Well, then she went over and shared a camp story about her daughter going to an all-girls summer camp. And when she did, there was one girl there who was someone's trans daughter, so a transgender child. And Bryn came home. Do you see how I'm trying to handle this with like?
Yeah. Do you want me to take over or what?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, she went to.
I don't want to say it, like I'm trying.
And one girl who identifies as a girl did not have the same anatomy as Bryn, and she made some comments about how maybe what did she say exactly? I didn't listen to the podcast. I only read the quotes. So
it's. Hold on, Jordan is like waving right now and saying, "Let me in." Jordan.
Hi.
Oh, it's
Resident trans woman here.
We lost you for a second.
Yeah, my daughter called and Philly Diva jinxed me.
Oh.
But hi, your resident trans big mouth here. So from what I'm understanding, there was an issue with, you know, there was a daughter of trans experience at the same camp, and there was some confusion about how that's working.
Like the bunking situation, I believe.
Right.
So was that on like Bryn's part? Was that on the camp's part? Or
no, she was saying she was saying that a lot of the parents of the other daughters at the camp called in, and some of them had some concerns because they were all in the same cabin together. They were sharing a cabin. So some parents had concerns, some did not, some were more welcoming and some were not. So she talked about this on her podcast and she received a lot of backlash when she did. And then she came out with these because she was firing back at the backlash that she got. And she said, listen to the podcast, then comment. I was absolutely not wrong, and I'm going to discuss this again this week. Thankfully, I have a platform to clarify what the media loves to distort at Just Be Podcast. P.S. I'm not afraid of cancellation, so not afraid of charged discussions. When someone said this is the time to learn, Bethenny, humility can be a good thing. Doesn't mean you're weak. You were wrong with your comments. She also said, okay, now I'm going to attempt to sleep. My new book cover shoot is in the AM. Page 6 says I'm transphobic, so it must be true. Or listen to Just Be Podcast and decide for yourself. Gotta sell papers. Hashtag don't hate the player, hate the game.
Okay. So I'm assuming by you reading that Bethenny's stance was she was one of the parents that was calling in that was against the bunking situation.
I mean, this is total speculation. We don't know. She
said though in another tweet, listen to the podcast. I haven't listened to it, but I'm just going based on what I've read.
Okay, so just following the couple of context clues that I have until I add her podcast to my download list. Ain't Bryn like 10?
Yes.
So
Bryn is 10. Yes.
I feel like acknowledging like
well, she did applaud Bryn she said Bryn was very like open and excited about the conversation. She was wanting to kind of understand why they were asking everyone to say their pronouns, because of course she's a child. She's going to come home and say, Mom, this is what we did. You know, what do you think? And she was excited about it.
I'm just surprised.
I think she should have took Bryn's lead.
They didn't explain why they were doing that.
Right.
Yeah. Why is that? Like we even got explained in school, like why we did the national anthem or the pledge. I'm sorry, I ain't been in school in a long time.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Yeah, like they even explained that to us. Well, they explained all the wrong things to us in school. So I digress. But I think she should have followed Bryn's lead, and I feel like this is almost like over sexualizing a child. Like these are kids at a camp. Ain't no 10-year-old and Speaking as the person who discovered that she was trans at 8 years old, we not walking around talking about our genitalia and doing all of that at 10.
Well,
Like,
she
it's
said
just
the
not the
reason
time.
that the parents were calling in and they had concerns was because the girl who was in the camp that everyone was concerned about was making out with a bunch of other girls. So then the parents were called because they were caught making out at 10 years old in this little summer camp. This is where she went with the podcast. These are her words. These are not my words. Before we continue, Jordan, I just want to bring this up really quick. Mama Ali, my daughter dealt with this and we handled it as best as we could. I feel like parents need to take in account the age, if that makes sense.
That's what I was saying. Like, we're over sexualizing children. Like, at the end of the day, if these were two cisgender girls that were making out, would it have been this like cisgender lesbian like freak show fiasco? Like I think you're over sexualizing a child's genitalia, and then it pushes the line of where your acceptance and tolerance really is. Because if you're gonna say you're an ally or you accept trans people, then you need to go all the way with it and say, well, I accept you because you identify that, but then change it up when you're like, but when it comes to you interacting with my child,
But
wait
in
a
this
minute.
situation, right? No, that makes
Like,
total sense, Jordan.
it can't be circumstantial. It's like either trans women are women or we're not.
Right.
Like you have to pick one side and stick to it, because it can't be, oh, well, you can go to the same camp, y'all can bunk in the same dorm, but you better not touch my child, though.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds insane.
Yeah,
Because,
it does
and
sound
then
crazy.
it's gonna further, and then it's like further, like, it. Kids watch what adults do, right? So if they see their parents all up in arms, making these comments, doing all of this and the third, they're gonna follow in the discussion amongst themselves, which is gonna further create more sectioning off of that trans child by themselves. Like, it's gonna make them further stand out. This should have been a conversation about how we make this trans child feel more equal and included, versus ripping them apart from general society that you claim you allow her to identify as. She's at an all-girls camp, correct?
Right.
So how is it you're gonna treat her like the girl that she identifies
She's not
as
being treated the
70%
same.
of the time?
Yeah. Well, listen.
Well, again, someone in your comments too just said if you haven't listened to the podcast to get the correct information, you should.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there is
Absolutely.
more. She is receiving a lot of backlash from people who haven't listened to the podcast as well.
But
So
that's exactly what she said.
I mean, that is kind of
Listen
maybe
to the
what
podcast.
everyone. And now I have to go listen to it, and I don't
No,
know.
and she said,
Right.
thankfully, I have a platform to clarify what the media loves to distort. So she is kind of telling us, like, listen, Page Six ran with this whole narrative that I was treating the conversation this way, but we haven't heard how, that's true. We need to listen to the actual podcast to really kind of figure out how Bethenny was approaching this conversation.
I
Because-
think we
why
should
I
all
preface-
listen to it, Jordan, and I think we should come back to it because I really want to hear your thoughts after you have heard it, because I haven't heard it either, and I don't even know what to think right now. I mean, based on what I've heard, I'm like, no, but
I was
Yeah.
going to say the exact same thing, because I'm not one for cancel culture without offering somebody redemption culture. So that's why I preface my statement by saying, based on the context clues alone, this is how I feel. Now, I'm going to go back and listen to it, and y'all know I'm going to be back tomorrow. It's foolishness.
All
So I want to hear exactly what she said and how she intended, because, like, if you're saying, like, if you're not taking the time to at least paraphrase clarification on social media, that leads me to expect that you're going to go into an entire dissertation on the subject. So I'm hoping that we really, like, get a full rounded conversation on what exactly is going on and how we got from the child and the pronoun to the camp, and how, like I need to hear everything, but just based on context clues alone, this is sounding real sketch.
All right, Jordan, we're going to go ahead and also add another person to the conversation. Before we do, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Bernice, and then we're going to bring up Allie the Mama Bear, Philly Diva. We have other people in the room, too, that we will add. But there was a tweet that said, "Hi, Bethenny. I was going to quote the transphobic language you used in the horrific intro to this episode, but it's too hurtful to even put in writing. Maybe do the bare minimum of research before you speak to your audience." Another wrote, "This rant was completely offensive and disgusting. How dare she?" Let's bring up Bernice. Hi, Bernice.
Hello, everyone. How you doing today? Hey, my favorite man. Hi, you beautiful.
Hi,
You
hi,
beautiful. Hey, and Philly, I love you too.
What is
I think it was blown out of proportion until you go and listen to the podcast and hear the full story. Everybody going to assume everything. Everybody got buttholes, but don't mean they get the right to say anything about it.
Okay.
But from her talking about her daughter, where she was being inclusive and she was proud of her daughter, I would assume that she would be supportive to the transgendered child. I would assume that.
That's also another way to look at it. We're playing devil's advocate here, and it's
Right.
so true because a publication put it out like this was very offensive based off of the tweets that surfaced. So they're going based off of these fans who are going in on Bethenny. I wouldn't call them fans, but Twitter users, and they're writing this negative story. But the way she talked about it like that, like she was so happy that Bryn was excited about the conversation, that makes it look like, okay, maybe Page 6 got this wrong. That's true. That's why we all have to come back.
Right.
We'll listen to the podcast and we'll come back and talk on it.
Yeah, do I really have to listen to the podcast? I really don't like Bethenny, but
We'll listen to it for you. I'll listen to it for you.
We got you, baby.
At least you're honest.
Podcast. We're talking about her podcast that no one has really been listening to until she started about Erika, Jayne, and now this whole issue. So now we're all gonna go listen and give her the downloads.
I mean, that's what she wants. Like, let's be honest. She didn't tweet a response because she wants us to go listen to the podcast. How many times did she mention the podcast? It was not about clarification. This is what I meant. I wasn't trying to use charged language to upset you, but to get the clicks. Like, be honest that you did a clickbait situation and caught backlash that you probably weren't expecting. Now, my daughter's only 7. However, I've always watched, just, I don't want to call it gay-friendly TV because that sounds very mainstream, but there are no kind of boundaries in my TV. I'll put it like that. So she'll come in and she'll see, say, was watching some old L Word, but, we had to turn that off. But, some pose, and she'll see that mommy is emotional. And mommy is emotional because mommy lived through the 90s. So mommy knows what this is like. She'll see me watching, say, RuPaul. And she'll understand, yeah, baby, some of these are boys and some of these are girls. And sometimes girls feel more like boys and sometimes boys feel more like girls. And sometimes they just like to float through both. So I keep it on her level because, again, she's 7. But
you're already made aware of that, which is actually interesting to me because as a kid growing up, I wasn't really made aware of anything until I was at least in middle school. Like nobody in elementary school, we weren't having these conversations, even though everyone always asked me, which this is a little bit deeper, but everyone says to me in my family, or they'll ask, Adam, when did you know? And I'm like, when did you know that you like girls? What are you talking about? I knew at like 8 years old when my brother used to bring the baseball team home.
Oh my God, I knew it at 3. I knew it at 3.
And that's the thing. I don't tell her what is. I answer questions, and I don't tell her what is what, because I don't want someone to tell her what is what. Mommy's is the plainest to you. So in the instance of, in the trans community, she was kind of first introduced through a RuPaul drag race. Which one? Bimini.
Oh, Bimini. Yeah.
Okay.
Bimini. Yes, Bimini in London. So sometimes baby Bimini is a boy and sometimes Bimini is a girl. And the same way, sometimes you like wearing jeans and sneakers and being a little bit more rough around the edges. Sometimes girls like being like that, and sometimes boys enjoy makeup and hair, and it's okay. And it's okay. And there was a commercial on for a new Amazon show. I'm not giving them a plug. They don't pay me. But
Good
Is this
girl.
about a gay boy? I said, well, I think so. I didn't look. She said, well, he must like fashion. No, 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 no. Because that's what we're not going to do, baby. We're not going to stereotype people. Boys
Oh,
who
she
like
thought
boys.
because he was gay that he loves fashion.
Yes.
Hasn't
And
Can
she
I tell you,
told
I wish
everyone that
Adam
I'm-
liked fashion. That would be
Yeah,
great.
I'm the least fashionable.
And that's exactly like,
He tells me it's dinner. Like he'll be like, "Listen, we're going out somewhere nice for dinner," and I'm like in sweatpants and like a black t-shirt, and I'm like, "All right, fancy."
no, you're not. No, we're not doing that. And
Trans
but what we're
woman
not
that's
doing
still
is
a
teaching her
tomboy. Stereotypes are
exactly.
dumb.
Like
Right.
I have on a hoodie, some ripped up jeans, and some sneakers. However, I will snatch this wig off and put a dress on and get real feminine and cute for my man. But that's because he understands that even though I may identify one way, same as I'm straight, I can flow through my sexuality and my being as anyone can. So I meet her where she is. We don't, if she sees on TV boys kissing boys or girls kissing girls, baby, that's okay. Like sometimes boys like boys and sometimes girls like girls. And we keep it moving. So
I applaud that. I think that's really, honestly, that's great to be that open. And honestly, as she grows up, I had friends from Seattle. They had very open conversations with their parents, and I used to wonder when I was younger, is this how it is in Seattle? But no, it's really the parent who is guiding their children. And honestly, Philly Diva, I think that's amazing that you have these conversations. So when she sees, you know, a same-sex couple or someone else together at the same time, and she's older and she's never heard about it, she's not like, what the hell is this?
well, but she comes to me sometimes. You know, there are kids in her school that have two mommies.
Right.
And so she'll say, such and such has two mommies. Okay. Like
Yeah.
that's their family.
Right.
Can I piggyback off of this really quick?
Yeah, go ahead. And then we're
Because
going to go on to the
I
next subject and then hit everything at the end.
Okay, cool. I want to just thank you for being that way, because as a trans woman who's raising a daughter who is the same age, I had to have a lot of these conversations early, because my daughter was the girl at school who had two daddies at first. Now she's watching me like change and develop before her very eyes, and I have to bring her up to speed as it happens. So from the time she was born, I kind of raised her without the spectrum of like gender norms, or like what is boy things, what is girl things, what boys do, what girls do, because I don't necessarily want to limit her potential, because just because she's a girl don't mean that she can't be a welder. Just because somebody might be a boy don't mean that they can't be a hairstylist. Like it's all based on perception, experience, and what your talents are. So I've always taught her to just go with what's natural to her and don't worry about what's a girl thing or what's a boy thing. Just make it your thing, right?
Exactly.
And so, oh, sorry.
No.
Wait.
I was just saying, I think it's more so because of what we're seeing on TV and in the radio and really kind of in mainstream media now versus what was done and said, 15, 20 years ago. I oh God, I'm dating myself. I remember the kiss when Will and Jack kissed on national television.
I
Wow.
thought you
That
were
is
going to say
reason
Britney Spears
separation, girl. Yes.
I
and
I'm
Britney
that
Spears
old.
and Christina Aguilera.
Like,
Philly Diva, I'm going to show my age because I do remember that too, even way before.
Adam showed his age.
Okay.
Separation was
Adam has no idea what we're talking about.
Hey. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But to bring
Adam and
that
I are
back to
10 years
Bethany,
Great chat. Oh, thank you, Karen. It sounded like I
to
said
bring
Karen,
that
but I
back
said
to
Karen.
Bethany though, I agree with, I forgot the lady's name that was just in
Miss
here.
Bernice. Miss Bernice.
Okay, cool. Miss Bernice. I want to agree with, I think it was either her or Philly Diva. I can't remember which one was speaking when they were saying like she wasn't looking for necessarily clarification on this story, because I feel like we didn't need a whole podcast for her to explain that she isn't transphobic. We need 140 characters. Done.
That was it.
Like, she could have paraphrased that clarification in one tweet. Instead, she chose to be a smart ass and be like, well, y'all don't know nothing. Y'all ain't heard the podcast. Go listen to it. I wouldn't want to go listen to her podcast if I read that tweet. It wouldn't make me want to understand her more. So while I can understand you not giving a shit about what people think about you, at the end of the day, you have a brand that is based on consumer interaction. So you don't want to piss off all the people that buy your popcorn and your jeans and your liquor. So, like
They
you
also
may
have-
want to just at least
Well,
use a little bit of media training to be like, this ain't what I meant, but I'll explain in detail here.
They also have flavored tea and syrups.
Go oh, they got put up. What type of tea though?
I
But
mean,
she
they
sold that
We'll talk
liquor,
about that
so-
later.
have skinny tea, skinny green tea, skinny matcha tea. Anyways, okay. All right. No, Jordan, Philly Diva, I appreciate you both being so open and transparent about this conversation, because obviously, you know, Bethenny tried to have this conversation on her podcast and she received a lot of backlash. And this is one of the reasons I'm so excited to be doing these lives, because I love to hear everyone else's different opinions and experiences. I mean, both of you are parents. I'm not a parent. I know Jason's not a parent. I don't know. Kempire is kind of secretive over there. So Kempire might be harboring a child of some sort.
After he joins the cast
Empire
of
got
90
a
Day
whole
Fiance
baby
the
mama
other way.
stashed somewhere.
Yeah, Kempire's got a baby mama. Yeah.
He got a whole
That's
baby
it?
mama stashed somewhere down in Atlanta.
Isn't that where they hide?
She's
Look.
testing for Real Housewives next season, but he won't tell us that.
Love and hip hop.
Look, I can't have
Hey!
secrets in this business. I can't have secrets in this business. I'm not trying to be exposed.
But imagine though, like
Kempire, that's the way to go.
What
Skeletons
happened to
walking
the
out of the
rumor
closet.
that Tasha K was testing for Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Actually, she talked about that on my channel, and she did say, she said this. Yeah, she said this live. I was trying to think about it because Tasha K and I will talk off screen sometimes too, and I just want to make sure I don't fuck up that conversation, because Tasha K will come for me. She does not play, and that's what I like. But Tasha, she did say that right now, she has been offered a few different talk shows in the past 2 or 3 at this point, I believe. And she has heard about Housewives. I believe she said that. But the pay does not match what she's already making. Because you have to remember, too, she's at almost 1 million subscribers. Tasha K is doing the damn thing. As far as
YouTube and her
knowing money.
and,
Shout out the Wino Gang.
but
yeah,
listen,
they want to keep her paid.
and they don't, and they don't play, you know, like I've looked at her channel and I watch her when she does the lives, and I see how many people are viewing her stuff, and her video goes out, and after an hour it's thousands and thousands of views. Tasha K is like, you can offer me your talk show, but that's just not paying me as much as YouTube. I'm good.
And
So-
that's also fair. Like, I wouldn't think that, because there was a time where, like, I heard, like, she was, like, where, like, they were trying to get her on the show, right? And I didn't think that that would be smart for
I mean, look what it did to
Tasha
Latoya Ali. Look at Latoya
Huh?
Ali's YouTube career. When Latoya joined the show, this is another thing that Tasha said on my channel when I kind of talked to her about Atlanta. She said Latoya broke down her whole YouTube career by going on Atlanta because she thought it would be better exposure. She didn't get paid garbage for going on Atlanta. And then she put herself out there to where some fans either really liked her or they really didn't. And it caused her YouTube community to kind of take a step back a little bit. So she's had to regrow and recoup that whole YouTube community just from being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Two
I mean, I
things.
think
fumbled that
She
bag.
is not Tasha K. Like, let's
Yes,
just
Exactly.
Totally,
She
yes.
fumbled that bag.
She is far from
And I
Tasha
think-
K.
And like their like approach to YouTube is different. The reason why I say it would be a bad look for Tasha K, and I wouldn't necessarily mind it for a Latoya Ali, is her YouTube channel is not based on talking about the same people she'd be starring on a show with.
Mhm.
So one is gonna suffer one way or the other. Either she's gonna get on the show and they're gonna hate her because she's gonna go on her channel and read them for filth with the truth and spill all types of behind the scenes tea and do all of that, or her channel is gonna suffer because she's gonna actually become friends with these women and it's gonna dilute
Do her
her
brand.
rawness.
Right. But that's
And
another
that's what
thing
Tasha
too,
K is
because
known for.
and I don't think that they would open up to Tasha K because they know that this is Tasha K's business and her brand. Like if
know
there is
she
something
is the
that comes
boss.
across, I mean, I feel like we can, most of us sitting here talking about this can relate to this topic. If there's a headline unfortunately, like it's going to be talked about, and it might as well, even if you're my friend, sorry. And sometimes I give passes to some of the Vanderpump Rules people, or Jason knows, like sometimes I try to kind of pass on people that we might know, but then I realize and I think about it in my head, I'm like, well, somebody else is going to fucking talk about it, and then they're going to start talking about it, then it's going to be a headline anyway, so why don't we just mention it all right here on F and Adam?
Jason, your micro space, your micro, like just quick movement of face when Adam said that he doesn't talk about certain Vanderpump Rules castmates.
Oh, I can't either. I used to manage them. I used to be their boss. So
your whole face was just like,
I can't. Like I really, I don't even
So
have.
I shouldn't ask about Vanderpump Rules?
Well, no, I think I did a poll, and I believe everybody so far is excited about the new season tonight, so we'll see.
Do you want me? Okay, listen, because my NDA is expired, so I can tell you whatever I want. So maybe we should do Vanderpump Rules.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions. Since you brought it up, I'll open with this just, as a warmer question. And this goes back to what I was saying yesterday about how I almost don't want a full revamp of Vanderpump. Oh, Kristen, baby. Oh my God. But this goes back to what I was saying about not necessarily wanting a full cast revamp, because I want to watch white people learn how to not be anti-racist. How we feeling about Stassi? Like, do we want her back? Do we want her to have her own like redemption 3-part commercial? Do we what's going on? How we feeling about Stassi? Pooh?
Let me tell you a story. Okay.
Hey, I have my hand up first.
Oh, sorry.
No, you could go ahead. Go ahead.
There was one night we were really, really, really busy at Pump. A couple years ago, Pump was like the place to be. Maybe not so much anymore. I'm not sure how it's functioning. With the pandemic and stuff, everything has changed. But my security did not let in drunk people. Like it's still a restaurant. We're not a club. We're not Tom Tom where it's more like DJ, like lounge vibe. We're still a restaurant. We do have the lounge and whatever. All the Vanderpump Rules cast. You had Kristen and Stassi, and I forgot who else was there. Sheena that night. My security wouldn't let them in. They were sloshed, and they all started crying. And Stassi was like, "You're not letting me in!" And Kristen's filming it, and it just became a big issue. They are so dramatic. Complete sense. And for me, Stassi, I don't want to see her tell me anything. I don't want to listen to Stassi talk about anything.
Okay, I want to chime in on this real quick.
Go ahead, baby.
When everyone got fired from Vanderpump Rules, I just want to say this and start off this way. When I saw the hashtags and the, saying Nazi chic and then also calling the cops, everything that they did, I was completely this makes sense. How you are an adult. How are you not going to think that you wouldn't get fired for the stupid shit that you're saying? You have a public platform and you have a responsibility to everyone who's watching you, because you're setting an example, especially because both of you are parents. You would know that children are very impressionable, right? I believe this was already said. So people, even 13, 14 years old, they're watching Stassi and they see, oh, okay, she said that. That's cute to be sassy and talk about something that you don't know what the hell you're talking about and try to make it kind of cute for social media. It makes sense why they got fired. But personally, my experiences with Stassi, her and Sheena actually Jax is the only asshole. But Stassi she's never been a jerk to me. She's only been nice. When Peter, one of the old former managers, he tried kind of sending me home one night and he was being a jerk for no reason, because I walked in, I came from Tennessee. I had a full tux on with some New Balance shoes because I didn't know what kind of shoes to wear because I don't know fashion. Kempire, don't give me the eyes. I see it. And I had black Hollister pants on because I couldn't afford dress pants when I showed up to LA. And I literally think I had 5 gallons in my gas tank. Legit no money. I didn't ask anybody for anything. So when I showed up and I didn't have this shit, they sent me home because, like Jason knows, this whole brand, it's all about the ambiance. It's about how you look. It's about how everything else in the restaurant looks, the lighting, the music, everything. So it was a big deal. And Stassi stuck up for me in that moment and various moments after that. So I have nothing bad to say about her personally, but what she did was gross. However, I think that I'm rambling on. I think that she will hire a PR crisis management team.
I think she tried. I think she tried to do that.
Like,
yeah, I think it's because they did it too soon. I think
it's because she's an entitled brat and she doesn't know how to be around Black people. And I'm cool. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah,
she did go
100%.
on Tamron Hall and try to explain this again, not defending
She
her.
went to the resident Black talk show host to try to say,
Tamron
I like
Hall
that
does
music.
nobody no good.
And she also was coached heavily. I mean, you could tell because if she was giving genuine, authentic answers, you know what I mean? Like it would come off genuine and authentic, and everything came off coached. It's not, you don't want to see someone have a redemption tour or whatever and come off with these,
Like I learned so much. Oh my gosh, it's been 2 months now. All of a sudden, I'm a changed woman. I totally
Exactly.
I totally understand that. My only thing is, had this have not been a route that she took, and it's really unfortunate to know that this is how she feels and she does this stupid shit. But had that not have happened, and if you're just looking about how they behave on reality TV, she could have been the only one that would have held her own show. That's what they were gearing her up for with the podcast tour. Like Kempire sitting right here. Look at his face. His neck is arched up. His chin's up. He's in awe, like wondering what I'm talking about. And what I'm saying is they were gearing her up for a podcast tour eventually for what, Jason? Take it away.
for a talk show.
For a talk show.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
100%.
none of this surprises me. None of this surprises me at all. None of this surprised me. I feel like had she not gone off and stuck her foot all the way and touched that dangly thing that's swinging the back of her throat, I feel like she would have been on Bravo's chat room. Okay? Catch.
Yeah, she would.
Now, what I will say to what you're saying, Adam, I can appreciate your experience with Stassi. I can appreciate that she stuck up for you. I can appreciate all of those things of the things. However, I have met a lot of racists that were very nice people till you said something to piss them off. One. Two, I feel like even if that didn't happen, that doesn't mean she wasn't that person. Maybe she just because of the fact that like even if she was smart enough not to say that shit in front of a microphone and then double down on it later, and then when she got fired to say that, oh well, me apologizing, I got fired for nothing. Well, no. Well, I'm still got fired, so I apologize for nothing. Y'all remember that quote?
Yep.
So it's like while I can appreciate her being the one from that show, she was still the one who had these feelings, and she was dumb enough to say them on a microphone and on a camera.
Well,
like
Instagram and her social media. No, you're right. You're completely right. Honestly, that's what I'm saying too. Is I wish that, because that doesn't come out of nowhere. So these are obviously this is Stassi, right? I don't want to say it defines the whole person of who Stassi is, but she's the one who said this. She can't give us some bullshit that somebody else runs her Twitter account and that she doesn't have any access to her own Twitter. Like this is come on, Stassi. So
like Jen Shaw.
I get what you're saying.
Well, just as a person, as a black girl.
Now, I have a question. Is anybody looking
one
forward?
Of her 16 assistants run her Twitter account.
Right. Well, number one? Who's Stewart? He's not going to be running anything anymore. So we know that.
Stewart is running to the DA's office.
That's right. No, I mean, is anybody excited? For me, Vanderpump Rules really missed a beat. I mean, after working for Lisa for almost 5 years and in a leadership position, or I ran one of her brands, you're missing, there's a point missed there. So where Pump, Sir, and Tom Tom sit in West Hollywood, Villa Blanca was due for a long time ago, but where they sit, they are in the biggest gay neighborhood in almost the United States. And Pump was in the best location. We are on a corner of Santa Monica and Robertson.
Well, it's not me anymore. You're here with me, but yeah.
Right, correct. But, I'm by the beach now, and I love it. But then we're next door to the biggest gay club in the United States, the Abbey. We have a show.
I'll tell you that.
Well, we have a show where we're just focusing on these young straight people trying to be actors. You are in the middle of, if you wanted to do a show, all you had to do was put your cameras in Pump. I promise you, we have everything. We have every race. We have every gender. We have everything at Pump. And everyone is a catty little dramatic bitch, I love them all. They're amazing.
Quick
They would
question.
be
But like
great
in the
TV.
best way, they're just.
But now we're
sassy
following
as
these
hell.
like has-beens.
Oh, wait, Jason. Why do you think they haven't done that?
Because Pump was the moneymaker, right? So that brought in the money due to our location, and we were more of a restaurant. I don't think they wanted to ruin the vibe in there. When you're filming, especially in Sir, Sir was really, really, really cool back in like 2008 when like real celebrities used to go there. It was like Craig's. And then when you film in a spot, whenever we would film at Pump, you have to turn the music all the way down. Everything has to stop. People are enjoying their experience. So, Pump used to... It ruins the vibe, and there has to be one place. It's also the place where you'll see Lisa the most, So it's just kind of, I think, her baby. She designed, everything except Jeff Lewis designed the bar in the back. But it's just her baby, and it's the moneymaker.
It's the moneymaker.
Yeah.
Quick question about Pump.
Okay.
Because Pump is because if we all, recall, because this is just me randomly thinking about this, and I'm just being a little bit messy. Yes. Okay. So I'm being just a skosh messy, because I'm comfortable with you all now. We cool. If Nene Leakes had have originally got that location like she planned on and stuck the Lenithia over there, would you have still put in the job application?
I met Lisa and Ken a long time ago, so that's why I ended up working for them.
Actually, it was because of me that Jason ended up there, because Jason got a job in Santa Monica, and I knew the people who were running Pump. Is how that happened.
And I also met them back in 2008. So that was different. I actually didn't know too much about that. It used to be Pump was just an old coffee shop and a parking lot. And so it was a space where you could, you're paying to rent the coffee shop, but then she turned the parking lot into a restaurant where you can bring in all of these people and make all this money. So the rent's cheap, the profit is high. I would be really curious to see what Nene would have done with it, because I think it would have just equally have been as successful.
I mean, I would have worked, honestly. I think the reason that we got into Tom Tom and Pump 2 was because I originally, when I first moved to Los Angeles at 20 years old, one of my second job in Los Angeles, aside from my internships, it was Sir. So it was so easy because the Vanderpump, like the restaurants, it's kind of incestuous, where when a new one pops up, they take all of the best from the older ones and they start hiring new people. And then they open the new restaurants with like the best of their employees who aren't just models. Because mind you, when they hire, whether it's a busser, a server, a bartender, they hire through they do casting calls through Wilhelmina. They don't just say, hey, we need a bartender. They're like, no, we need a model. Hey, do you know, can you say vodka soda? Vodka soda.
Do you know how hard that is to manage, by the way, PS? All right, I can make a drink. So
that's how it is. That's how it is. But to answer your question, though, I worked at Liaison in Hollywood, in California, and it was a nightclub, a full-time nightclub. It was some of the best times of my life. I used to have so much fun. I would only work from 11 to 2, and we would make almost $1,000 a night, and I would work 3 nights a week. Crazy, stupid money, bottle service girls, it was dumb. Los Angeles has that effect. I see Lenithia Lounge, how they have the bottle service girls, and it reminds me of the same thing. I would absolutely have worked there in a second. If there's money, I'll work there. That's my point.
Adam, I forgot what Liaison was. The Liaison used to be a place where everyone used to show. What was the club Liaison was before it was Liaison? It used to be everyone was there. Back in the day.
Oh my god, it was the one from the Hills. Oh gosh, Lauren.
I literally the only one in my head. I can't think of it.
Clearly, because I'm like,
Elsie. She locked herself up in the club when everybody showed up, and she's crying and asking production. Anyways, yes, it was a huge club. It was a huge club back then, and then they revamped it. It was still great. After that, I worked with Tao Group too in Hollywood. It was crazy. We had a lot of, shit went down in those clubs. Okay. Anyways,
that was just a random thought, because I was like, that could have been one of Lenithia's spinoffs that she was
supposed to be her spinoff. That was supposed to be hers.
I wish she would have got that. Because I never got a chance to eat at one of her pizza places in the airport when she was dating the Italian guy, buying her red bottoms and bling bling, and them bitches is mad. I didn't get to go. And the next thing you know, as soon as she got back with Greg, all of them was over with, and it was on to what's the name of her stores, her boutiques.
Oh yeah,
those.
Y'all know the
Those-
places in the stores and the
Swag,
plazas and
Swag.
the GM.
Yeah.
Swag,
Swag.
swag,
Swag.
swagalicious,
Right.
all
But
of
before
those things.
swag, it was the tours, you know, because she was doing the comedy
She was
tours,
doing
and
the
then
comedy
she said
tours.
something too much, and then
That was a lick.
yeah,
That was a lick. She put a tour together riding off a professional comedian's back getting a
Yep.
coin. That was a lick.
Yep.
She fumbled that. And that led her all the way to the Escape Tour. That's
Mhm.
crazy. Like, she could
Yeah.
have really hosted the Escape Tour and really made this like a real side hustle. Kind of like
So
how
Nene
people
and
do,
I,
like, professional speaking.
Nene and I have something in common. We both performed in Cirque du Soleil. It's because she got that right after that too.
What did she
Yeah,
do?
so she was
She did
we
the,
had a show called Zoomanity, which is an
Yeah, I
over
remember
18
that.
show
and
in
she
Las
did the
Vegas,
Naked
and she was
Goddess
the
or whatever.
MC. Yeah, she's the MC of the show, which is usually played by a drag queen or Joey Arias played.
Well, they
played,
got a drag queen.
I didn't mean it like that.
They got a
but
drag queen.
she was there for a few weeks. Apparently, she was great to work with and rehearsed well. I never saw. I wanted to go see the show I had the opportunity because I was on tour and we were on break and I was in Vegas and I had the opportunity, but I had seen the show so many times I just didn't care. I don't really think I knew who Nene was at that time.
Would you rather see her come back to RHOA, or would you rather finally see her get a spinoff about her like putting her life together and like getting back to her career now that, rest in peace, Greg is gone?
Well, I think that she should get her. Honestly, I think she should get her own talk show. But I wanted to say this.
What?
I do
I don't-
because
You meant podcast?
No.
Wendy Williams was right. Wendy
No.
Williams was right. She made the right, and I don't agree with Wendy nor her big old titties very often, but she
Hey.
was right.
No, you meant a
Right.
podcast,
Nene
right?
did not need that talk. She
Nene
didn't need
doesn't
that
need-
I
talk
didn't
show.
Billy Diva. I didn't mean a podcast.
No,
I
you
didn't-
didn't.
All I'm saying
No.
is,
No, you didn't.
Hey guys,
All I'm
welcome
saying
out.
is she
Nene
didn't-
leaves. And she's like, hey, okay, settle down, sits in the couch, then has guests come out, then reads them up and down for filth, and then puts them back, and then she ends off, and they have a special.
Saw Nene try to do not a talk show, but she tried to interview. Remember Jermaine Dupri during, I forgot what season that was of RHOA. It wasn't good.
keeping it real with Nene.
No.
Gosh. Well, we did have the night that I met Nene Leakes, and it was out with Cynthia Bailey really quick. Boom, boom. Nene Leakes, Jason, Cynthia Bailey. Hey, fun night. And then after
Good
that,
Lord.
I took Mariah Carey out into the parking lot. That was
Jason.
exciting.
That was Adam's drunk night.
That was Adam's drunk night. As you can see, Adam's drunk. Okay.
I
All right.
blame you.
Adam's
I
not drunk.
followed her
Adam's
right
just a
off
little
to the Waffle
flushed.
House too.
A little flushed. But
Yeah.
that was the night when I walked up to her, and Cynthia introduced me, and I said, I work for LVP. And she goes, I hate, blah, blah, and just like went on and said the name, LVP, like said her name. She's like, I hate her. She stole my restaurant. And that was the
She
first
stole
night-
my goddamn restaurant.
You stole my goddamn house.
I think it was smart
Very
though
bad.
that Nene opened her restaurant or her lounge in Atlanta. She's from Atlanta.
Where her base
I
is.
agree.
There.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Friend.
You know, well,
Go
to what Kempire is saying, I don't mean to cut you off, but to piggyback off what you're saying, that's why it's so genius what Lisa does, because she shows up all of the time to her restaurant. And even Nene Leakes, when he was coming down to his last days and she got annoyed with one of the patrons who just wanted her to say happy birthday, but now we understand why she was annoyed. She obviously was going through a lot. She was showing up to the restaurant because she knows by showing up there, everyone's going to take your picture. It's going to spread like wildfire. It fills up the restaurant, and then you leave. That's how it goes.
And that's what she's
And
doing at the Lanithia. She's been-
Absolutely. That's what Lisa does at her restaurant. She's at Pump 4 or 5 nights a week, but she's not just at Pump. She eats at Pump, but then she's at Tom Tom. She's at Sir. She's always making an appearance. It's free press for them. It's
What was that thing
free.
I heard? What was that thing I heard where like it was like she goes and eats at Pump, goes and have a drink at Tom Tom, and then like goes have a dessert at like Sir or like something like that. Where like she'll just frequent, hey Jeffy, hey girl. She'll like frequent all of the establishments in one night just to keep all of them popping in one night. So like people will follow
As
her
she
from
should.
each location to each location. I was like, you know what? I am conflicted about your presence on television, but I will never doubt your business acumen. That's smart.
I'm going to tell you one thing just about Lisa really quick. Kempire, I have to agree with you. I think Nene opening the bar in Atlanta where she can be present, because that's, again, free press and people want to go because you're there. It's the cool spot. But when Lisa walks in, she notices everything, whether it's how the bartenders are pouring the drinks, whether it's the lighting, the sound, everything has to be exactly right. And that is, how she does her business. She knows. She's had, over 30 restaurants at this point.
So Jason, are you
she
saying
knows what she's doing.
That Nene should thank LVP?
Yes.
No, I don't really know how that went down, so I'm not sure she should thank her. I mean, you still have the best you have the best location in West Hollywood. You are on the busiest corner. You have all the traffic going from the Abbey, which is the biggest gay bar club in LA, going to all of the other gay bars and clubs in LA, and you have to pass that location. So I don't know if she should thank her, but
remember
I do.
Nene has the best location in the
for
loop.
Nene. But
And
you know what? All it means is what is for you is for you. And I really hope that Nene eventually learn that lesson. God is going to give you what's for you. And that
I think the lesson here is don't tell people when you want to buy something. Just go buy it.
Stop sharing your ideas with strangers.
She was an actress. Like, she was going to Hollywood during pilot season, and that's one of the key rules for anybody auditioning. Don't tell nobody your ass book shit until it airs. Like,
Correct.
why would you even like they got a sign up there with the number on it? Call the realtor. Why is you calling Lisa Vanderpump, somebody who already has a predominant stock of real estate on that block anyway? Like,
Didn't you think she would know, city councilmen and zoning people and everybody in the industry that can speed, fast track that along? Like, that was the person you shouldn't have told anything to. Like, if anything,
thank you.
Don't
Because she the person that got all the phone numbers. She know all the contractors. She know
probably
all the
owned it by the end of the
bartenders,
day.
and she can probably get at that time, she probably could have got the people on the phone at Bravo faster than Nene could even back then. Just saying.
Wow.
Even today.
Today, girl, I don't.
LVP could come back.
I think
and they would roll out a golden. No, Lene's blocked. Lene's absolutely blocked. She's blocked from Peacock. She's blocked from NBC.com. She's blocked from the YouTube Bravo channel. Like, Nene, don't ever. You can't even say Universal. You blocked from saying Universal. Just don't say nothing. Keep my name out your mouth.
You know what? I have to say though, really quick, I hate that. I love that Nene was able to say what she wanted to say because she was speaking her truth, but I hate that we won't get her on the franchises anymore. And that's exactly what's going to happen after this conversation came out. She was very honest about her experience, which she should be, but also with that, now the network's not going to trust her. They're not going to employ her. And I hate that because she is what we needed for this upcoming season. She would have been so amazing on this upcoming season.
Absolutely.
It's
but
not
you
what
can't
you
talk
say,
to
it's how you
Honey
say
Ice Tea
it.
about your boss when somebody else signs the check. Your name is not on the check.
That's
Your
why
name is in the 2 line, not in
that's
the
why
sign.
I'm over here. Like, I'm the only one who talks shit about Up and Adam over here because I'm the only one writing the check.
Like, you don't. And and this is what I taught my daughter about her wanting to be a YouTuber. You do better own your content. If you do not own your content, you then have a boss. You then have to do what that boss tells you to do.
Take up all of your space.
I use that for my relationship because I look at Jason and when he says something like, I need you to do this, I'm like, you better know the context. You better know the context because it's 3:00. I'm feeling froggy. Be careful, Jason.
Excuse me.
Like,
Jason's like,
she doesn't, she's an employee of Bravo. And I love Nene. Nene brought so much fun when she was in it. Like, you can definitely tell when her mind was not in it. And, the stress of filming and day-to-day life and everything was too much because, she's fighting in the closet and she's checked out of the reunion and she's telling people, like, when Nene was off in real life, she was off on the show.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I don't think anybody, like Wendy, I don't think anybody ever said, just take a break. We will hold your spot. Like, I don't think you can get FMLA as a reality star. And unfortunately, they needed the most. Like,
okay.
Seriously.
Like,
I just wish that she wouldn't have burned Bravo down in a blaze of glory, as Cynthia said. Girl, we're going to miss you. in the way that she went out. Because I feel like it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I feel like Mariah filed her lawsuit and she hit the dough. She ain't said nothing else. We ain't seen her. She ain't been to the mailbox. We can't find her on Instagram. She ain't down to the golf course. We ain't seen her nowhere. And
You're gonna let them
she just
lawyers
filed the lawsuit and let it be. Right. So I feel like at some point, even if she did file this lawsuit, it was like, okay, we can work that out. Maybe we can come to some sort of terms, and then later on, we can give you your, production credits on the franchise or whatever. Even though I don't listen, the Married to Medicine franchise is a mess. Married to Medicine, the show, is incredible, but that's a whole nother life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, hold on. Wait, I have to say one more. I have to interject really quick because Ramita is really worried and concerned about Kempire's health over there. Kempire, you need a snack?
I'll have a snack after the live is over.
Okay.
Wait, do you know?
What you need, baby? Because I got chips, I got oatmeal pies.
I
Honey, what you
definitely
need?
cooked. I made shrimp fajitas and got
Wait,
full off the
really?
first
What
one.
the hell?
Really? Now you guys gonna bring up food? Really?
I got snacks. Baby, I got snacks, honey. What you need, honey? I got all the things of the things. Hostess, Little
Just like a
Debbie,
mom.
Golden Flake. What you want?
Yo, just like a mom,
Yeah,
got the
period.
whole bag in the back.
Oh gosh, Daniel.
These my daughter's snacks, but I got some more at the house.
Daniel has a juicy question. Before we start wrapping this up, Daniel, go ahead. Can I please ask a juicy, gossipy question? Yes, absolutely. Ask your question. We welcome it, and I'm sure this is a very unfiltered panel here. I'm going to bring Firefade Jesse and back up and Bernice. A Paul, you didn't like it. Nene was fun before she went to Hollywood. Free Kempire. Ha ha ha. There you go.
And clapped right on out, child.
I need Kempire.
Lord.
I do too.
Nene burnt herself. NBC still standing. All right. I'm still waiting to see. If you have your question, go ahead and bring it up. All right.
Child.
I'm going to go around the room and
Bill
ask
Cosby
everybody
couldn't
really
even
quick.
take down NBC.
With everything that's going on in the Bravo world, for our next live, like if there was stuff that you really wanted to dive into, talk more about, it could be anything. Like, do you want to know more about what the hell is going on with Real Housewives of Miami? Is it Married to Medicine? Is it what's actually going on behind the scenes? Do I need to contact Dana Wilkie and see what the hell is happening with Erika Girardi? What are we interested right now in?
I'm interested in Miami. Like, I can't wait for Miami. I can't wait.
I am interested. I've heard nothing except the cameras are rolling, and that is leaving me on the itch of my toenails. Like, I need to know what's happening. I need to know who done swung on who has Adriana punched in the face. Like, I need to know.
There is
because
no right now.
I only remember very specific moments from Miami for some reason. Like, I liked the show, but it was like I couldn't, like, it never fully reeled me in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm never gonna forget that fight when they was scrapping in cocktail dresses all across the hotel ballroom.
Oh my God.
That was lovely.
That was lovely.
That was lovely.
Okay. I wish they would be honestly.
That was model behavior.
This isn't Bravo, but I wish they would have kept Mob Wives going. I thought that was such a good franchise, and it was so much fun to watch, especially getting to know like how these women grew up and the mafia. Am I the only one? Kempire makes
No,
fun
I
of
love
people
Mob
watching
Wives.
that.
They're coming back.
Not at all.
They're coming back. I love my wives.
They're supposed to be coming back, although without Drita, sadly. But they are supposed to be coming back. I have missed Mob Wives since the day they announced the final season. Like, it was just, it never made any sense. How is Mob Wives gone and Black Ink Crew is still?
And they have multiple
not
series.
that type of show.
It did the Chicago.
They have franchises like Mob Wives Chicago didn't work out, and what is going on with Black Ink Compton? Because I only watched that for Kyla Pratt. I wanted to know what Penny Proud was doing in the hood.
Getting her tats.
Oh.
Well, I mean her dude Ken's head. I would have got one from him too.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah,
anyway, that's not.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay,
all right.
Yeah.
Well,
God bless him.
to be fair, we'll have a whole new list of topics tomorrow. We have Kempire over here yawning because he is about to take a trip to Amsterdam. Kempire will be featured on next season 4 of 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way. And if you're waiting for his
Kempire has the whole dynasty out here.
Kempire
He on 90
is-
Day Fiance. His baby mama testing for RHOH.
Bravo.
Oh my god.
Concerts. Kempire goes to
Don't let
concerts.
go of the
Kempire likes
channel.
water. Doesn't drink though, but loves some good art. Loves fashion. Loves technology. Green screens. Kempire is multidimensional.
Can we talk
Don't
He's
sleep
a
on him.
tomorrow? Can we talk about all the people who should be on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Like, I feel like, why is this casting in such shambles? Candy got a black book as long as Kenya's 24-inch real hair that comes directly from her follicle. Utilize her. Like, call one of the girls from Escape. Like, what's going on? Like, what is like y'all don't know what the girl groups. Call somebody around Tyler Perry Studios. Where's Tika Sumpter? Put her on there. Like, what is like they're acting like there's nobody in Atlanta.
I'm hoping though, honestly, with Atlanta, we're hearing so far good things about Real Housewives of Orange County. And they did kind of like a cast revamp. They only kept 3 cast members out of 6, and they cut the other 3, and now they just added, I believe, 3 more. So it's going to be interesting to see that, and I'm excited for a revamp. I hope they do the same thing with New York, and for Atlanta, we'll have to see, because sometimes when you move the women around, like if Kenya doesn't like the new woman who comes in and shows up, then that could be a rift in itself, and might be interesting. And if Portia stays around, all of the women are going to go in on her about the Simon Gobadia thing. That could be interesting. So it still could be a good season, even though, last season with Strippergate, it was interesting.
Kenya's antics are as tired as that marching band.
It was as
I thought
interesting as
Kenya
Puppy
did
Gate.
good.
Oh, somebody said Puppy Gate.
I
said it was as interesting as.
I just think Kenya Moore, her antics are as tired as that marching band she strolled up in Marlo's wig event with. Like, I'm so tired of her antics. It's just a lot. Like, it's a lot. Like, I want to see a new side of Kenya. Like, I need to see something else. Especially now that Cynthia's leaving. We only got to see her soft side with Cynthia and with Brooklyn.
Well, maybe we'll
You know
see
what I'm saying?
because
So,
her and
like-
Candy are friends. So we may still have Candy there to check Kenya for when the new girl comes in, because the first thing she's going to do is clash with Sheree over Moore Manor and Chateau Sheree. Like, that's
With
going to
Chateau
be
Sheree, though, that's some next level shit. I have to
that
say
is
that.
next level.
I need
Like,
to figure out why Sheree is forever sitting in the wings.
They were calling Chateau Sheree Never Neverland, but I don't know. Now I wish Nene was around so Sheree could be like, you want to come over to Never
Well,
Neverland?
Chateau Thelma is still thriving. Chateau Thelma is still thriving. She is alive and well.
Why
She
do you
is
have to
brushing
do
off
that?
that porch with a smile on her face.
yeah.
Why do you have to
Hey,
do
she said it, not me.
that?
But I just want to know why Sheree is forever waiting in the wings. Like, it seems like anytime somebody pick up the phone and call Sheree, when they can't find nobody else to come on this show, Sheree
Because
will be
Chateau
there
Thelma
with
is
a bone.
expensive as hell. What do you mean? That's why she's waiting in the wing. If you listen, if I were
So
paying
you would think
15, 20 grand an episode to pop up and be like, whoop, you would
That's
show
why
up.
she's always
But what
waiting in the
happened to
wings.
her producing Selling It Like Atlanta? Because didn't she produce that show on Bravo, Selling It Like Atlanta or something like that? She had like some type of real estate show she was producing. Where's her joggers? Like, it seems like Sheree don't have enough to do that
Well,
she
it's
is
kind of like
readily
Sonia
available
Morgan,
for this
like
little
Sonia Morgan.
$15,000.
Sonia Morgan always has like a storyline about her house on New York, and then it doesn't sell. And then like Sonia Morgan has a toaster oven, then we don't see it. Then she has a fashion line. Like it's kind of okay.
Yeah,
I see
I
it.
want her
We
psychic to
haven't seen the
hypnotize
doctor
her
video
out of
yet with
remembering
Randall
she was
yet.
married.
I want her to bring back Dwight.
Bring back.
I
Who?
want Sonia
Dwight.
Morgan to
Dwight,
where
you
it,
know Dwight.
okay, because to quote Miss Lawrence from Watch What Happens Live, where's Dwight? Where's Tamra and OC? I don't necessarily want to know where's Phaedra because I'm still not over it. Even though I can admit she would be good for the show, I'm still not over it. But like, where are these people?
Wait.
Like, where's Dwight? Miss
Jordan, you're
Lawrence,
gonna take
she's
away
on a
from our
new show with
topic
T.S.
tomorrow.
Madison.
Oh, sorry, we're going to come at this
Oh,
tomorrow.
I got a whole
Yes,
list.
we're
Okay.
talking Atlanta tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh,
But-
my bad. I'm sorry. Y'all didn't send me no
you're
memo.
good.
I'm sorry.
You're good. I just didn't want you to. Then what the hell are we gonna talk about?
No,
Because
we'll
now
do
I
this
want to
tomorrow.
talk about Dwight. All right. No, with
Because
that,
I can get
honestly,
into everything I want from Portia's commercial.
Commercial. That was Cynthia's commercial, by the way. Okay. With that, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Philly Diva, Jordan, Kempire, Jason. We just hit an hour and 30 minutes. I know Kempire's over here yawning. I promised Jason I'd keep him out at an hour 15. Philly Diva has a YouTube star over there growing up. And Jordan has a bag full of snacks that I'm absolutely jealous of. So before we go, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. And don't forget to follow everyone in this panel, including Firefade Jesse. I'm so sorry that we didn't get to bring everybody back up, but at an hour and a half, well, everybody has shows to watch tonight. This is still a premiere night. Guys, I'm going to start with Philly Diva, and then I will go around the room. Kempire, Jordan, Jason, and then we will end it off. Philly Diva, is there anywhere that you would like us to find you?
Well, I am like a regular Joe Schmo.
Me too.
So you can follow my my Insta weed is Jayne Blaze. And
Did you say your Insta weed?
Yes, my Insta weed. Because I work in medical marijuana, I will often post strains that are healthy for you, different ways to medicate. And my regular Instagram, you can find me as Kristen Dion. That's actually on all my social medias, and I'm private, so don't come at me with the shits. So I'm just
okay.
saying, like, I love for people to follow me, but you know,
all right.
I am from Philly, so don't come at me with the shits.
And she's still a diva, so she's saying, don't fuck with me. Okay, Kempire.
Everyone can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Kempire Daily. We get daily and consistent content.
All right, guys. And also, we're wishing Kempire good luck on this next season, this journey of love.
Of 90.
90 days after?
You say it, the more it's probably going to happen.
But first of all, I believe in
Let's not speak that into truth, please.
No.
just for your own good.
We're speaking this into fruition. Kempire is going to come back. You'll see. You'll see. It's going to be like, you'll see. I'm not going to spoil it. I don't like spoilers.
Well rested and fully fed.
Yeah, fully fed, and
Well
also
rested and fully
someone
fed.
in the bed. Kempire. Okay. Kempire's like, leave me alone, please, and let me go. I want to go eat. Okay. Jordan, where can we find you, please?
Y'all can find me at Good Old Jordan on Instagram and Twitter. But if you want to get with me about the shits, find me on Twitter because I'm always home and the light is always on.
All right. Jason?
Well, you can find me at Down with Jason, but I just wanted to say I'm really it's fun to be on here with my two favorite YouTubers because I really do. I mean, no offense to anyone else if you have YouTube, but I love Adam. I love your content, Kempire. I love your content. I love following because you guys like brush off sometimes and go like completely on a whole other story. I love following the Kelly Price content that you were posting.
Who asked you to get in the side?
No, but
Can we
you guys
talk about that tomorrow?
Well, you would need Kempire.
Kempire's like,
You need to go ahead and take your nap now. I'll fix you a plate
tomorrow. Look at him.
No, I mean, so I know you have
I'll
a lot.
fix you a
I know
plate. Go
that
ahead.
both, and I don't know. Adam has a lot of huge interviews coming up that's going to make Fallon kind of look like that. And then I know Kempire, you're doing so much stuff right now, so it's really fun to watch you guys grow. I love watching you guys.
We love a subtle play. We love a subtle read.
No, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, maybe it's because Jason, you're screaming in my ear, so everything else sounds low. Okay,
I'm going to be in a
guys,
half
make
hour.
sure that you follow everybody in the panel. Thank you so much for all of our mods, our super chats, super stickers, and for another great conversation. Normally, I don't last longer than an hour and 30 minutes on here unless Kempire calls me over to his show for 30 minutes and then keeps me on for 2 hours, which I still love and appreciate. So go follow Kempire.
What the?
And today we lasted, I'm just
We'll
kidding.
build your stamina up, baby.
I'm reaching. An hour and 34 minutes. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see everybody tomorrow. Enjoy your night, whether it's Bachelor in Paradise, if anyone still watches it, or Vanderpump Rules, or something else. I'm going to watch Love and Hip Hop. So bye, guys.
Love and hip hop.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, smash that like button. Don't forget to get subscribed. We are going live tomorrow. I will let you know when tonight. Check out the community tab.